Well, I'm just going to get started here. So, this week, May 18th to May 22nd, we will be looking at the major Forex pairs. We won't be looking at the minor pairs today. We won't be looking at exotic pairs either, just the major pairs linked to the US dollar. We will also be looking at silver and gold. I know they are up significantly, but they are at levels that are significant. So we are going to want to look at those. They will be looked at a higher time frame. The other pairs we will be looking on a 4-hour time frame. All right. So this is going to be our market outlook for this week. As you can see right here, we have the US dollar. And we do have structure where we did reach. So as you can see, over the past couple weeks, we have made a couple swings and made it up to our resistance level, our previous resistance, or support here, resistance here. So we've been kind of working in between this range here. I do see downside. We'll see what happens once it gets down to here. But all in all, I do actually see it coming down a little bit farther, possibly into this level here. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. We do also have slight divergence on the RSI. I'll just pull that up a little bit for you. As you can see, we do have a lower high here than here, where price has increased. All right. So we'll see if that actually plays out. Yeah, and then yeah, in news, there's not much for the US dollar actually this week. So this is a site I like to use. This is in investing.com. Yeah, we have building permits. We do have minutes on Wednesday, but all in all, there's not a huge amount of US dollar news this week. So no curveballs likely are going to happen, but we'll see about that. All right, so anyway, yeah, this is what I do see for the US dollar. I do see it coming down. We'll see what happens when it gets to around this zone, because as you can see, we do have structure in here at this mid-level. All right, so we do have support here, some structure here, a bunch of support in here, turned into resistance. All right, so yeah, we'll see what happens once it gets down to this zone. It's possible it bounces back up, but yeah, I do expect it to decrease a bit farther to the bottom of this zone here. All right, so we'll move on to the dollar CAD. This one, I am actually in this right now, shorting. It's already made a decent amount of move, about 30 pips so far on today. So as you can see, we had our resistance zone here. We touched it, fell, and since then we've been making this little wedge pattern here. And then if we zoom in a little bit closer, we can see it also formed this rising wedge here. We broke through, came back, retested both the minor wedge and the major wedge. All right, so that right there, along with this bearish candle, tells me that that's confirmation at this level that we are at least making a move down. Our first level to look for would be right in here. So we had support here, support here, support here. So I believe it could get to roughly, let's see, yeah, 40.25. All right. So this is where I'm going to look to see how it reacts. If it continues further, my next level will be the 39.5 area. And then I don't expect the Canadian dollar to gain that much value. So a move up is fairly likely after we reach the bottom of this major wedge. All right, so I really don't see the Canadian dollar gaining that much value. We are going to stick around the 40 or the $1.40 range. All right, I don't see it going past anywhere here. All right. So now the euro dollar. This one here, I'm not really looking for a move yet. If it breaks this level here, I may take a long position. But as you can see, it has been ranging for a little while. So we broke into this zone here, hit our support, bounced up, hit resistance, came down, hit support, resistance, support. And now it's been kind of playing around the lower end of this range. So I'm not 100% if it's going to actually make it all the way back up to the top. We may only get a move back up to here. And it's possible that this actually moves back down to this level, somewhere in around there. But it would be nice to see this finally go up. But we'll see how this plays out, right? But yeah, so I'd be looking for a move out of this trend here. All right. If we can move out of this trend here, take a small move. What's this? So we got 85 to 88. So that's what, 30 pips? Yeah, you can get a 30 pip move there. And reach these highs here. All this right here. All right. So that's the euro dollar. And then moving on to the Aussie dollar. This one as well has made a significant move since the open. So we closed last week right here on this candle here. The small one. All right. And as you can see, we closed on our previous lows here and our previous lows here. And if you look further, if you zoom out a bit, we have our trend line moving up here. So we have structure, we have our support, as well as our trend pushing this back up. All right. So we'll see what happens when it gets to the top of this, because as you can see, we do have resistance coming in at around the 64.75 level. All right. But if it does break, a move up to these previous levels. All right. That is very likely. The Aussie dollar has been nice and strong lately. It's gained back a significant amount of value that it has lost over the course of this COVID-19 scenario that we've been dealing with. All right. They handled it very well. So I do see their dollar gaining some value back. All right. But if we do get a rejection at this level, we may be looking back down to the 62.5. Westpac has announced that they do see the 62.5 level in the medium to long term. So very likely that it does actually fall back down here. But we'll see how it plays out. All right. Then the New Zealand dollar, again, we are at support. Has made a significant move again, 25 pips already today. All right. So as you can see, we have our support levels here, which we touched again. We have our major resistance up here. Minor, well, it used to be support, was resistance once we broke this trend. All right. We broke this trend, came through, retested, fell back down to our support, And now it looks like we're making a move back up. So I'm actually going to get rid of this one, move it here. So it's possible that this keeps moving up past that. Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, so it's possible this keeps moving up past that zone. But if it doesn't, I will be looking for a move back down, possibly to this 58 level. All right. So we'll see how that plays out at in around this 60-cent range. All right. Now, we're going to move on to some precious metals here. We have silver. This has been crazy. We're going to look on a daily chart. So if I'm not looking to take this anytime soon, but if we do get a rejection here, all right, as you can see, we do have support here. Finally, when we broke through very strongly. We retraced up. But if we get a nice shooting star candle on today's candle, because it did move up pretty strongly, if we get a rejection here, along with another bearish candle, I may look to short this down to the 1550 level. All right. I don't expect it to come down farther than that, but if we get a move back down to the 1550, we would look for another move up. All right. Yeah, so if we get a rejection, that's only if we get a rejection, we will look for a move back up to, let's be conservative, the $18 range. All right. So this is going to be a counter trend trade. So be careful with this one. If you do, make sure you wait for that confirmation. Do not try to get into this because look at this strength here. You don't want to get caught on the wrong side of that. If you get in too early, this could just rally straight to this level up here. And yeah, you don't want that to happen. All right. We are currently running into the overbought level, but that doesn't really mean too much. All right. This is, I don't really trade off the RSI. It's kind of just there for extra confirmation if I do see a move on the chart. All right. I always look at the chart first. That is just extra confirmation if it has a signal in it as well. All right. So finally, we will be looking at this one here is gold. All right. So this one I'm going to be looking on a weekly chart because as you can see on a daily, I think I have it plotted on a 4-hour actually. All right. So yeah, on a 4-hour chart, as you can see, we had this wedge pattern here. We broke out of it. So it's possible that we only get a move down here. Yeah, we might come down, test this structure level and our breakout for another move up. All right. We may be going higher, maybe trying to get to that $1,800 troy ounce level. All right. We haven't seen that for many, many years, but it's possible we do get up there. All right. But yeah, so on this one, I'm actually looking on a weekly chart for this move. Let me get rid of this here for you. All right. So as you can see, we did have resistance, resistance, resistance. This one fell off very strongly. So we have been moving up and we do have a very strong divergence here on the RSI. Very strong divergence. And if we get a signal to enter, I may not even be looking to enter this week, but possibly if the daily chart, if I drop down to a daily chart and it gives me a move or a signal to enter short, I may enter this week and look for at least this level here at the roughly the 1675, because you could see we do have resistance here, support, resistance, support, resistance. All right, that's our mid range. So it's possible we get a move here and then we run up. All right. If not, I will be looking for the $1,600 range. All right. As you can see, we have a lot of support in that area, and that will probably bring our RSI back down to oversold, and then we will run back up. I do see over the long term gold still increasing. The economies, yeah, they're starting to open again, but I don't see, like, the numbers aren't going to be good for the next little bit, right? So I still do see gold being bullish in the medium to long term. All right, so that's basically my market analysis for the week of May 18th to the 22nd of 2020. All right, so we have bearish bias on the US dollar, bearish on the dollar CAD, bullish on the euro dollar, bullish on the Aussie dollar, bullish on New Zealand dollar, US dollar, the Kiwi, and both bearish with confirmation, of course, because these have been very risky to go counter trend on lately. So I do have a bearish bias on them because of where they are resistance wise. All right. But yeah, we will be looking for confirmation on those for sure, and being very careful with our risk management on those ones. All right. So other than that, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you have a wonderful week trading and you trade green. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.